Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to another reading here at Transform with Rian. And in today's reading, we are going to find out what is entering your life that you're not expecting, okay? And we're going to channel a message from your future self. And the timeline, as suggested by one of my amazing subscribers here on the channel, will be in 3 to 6 months, okay? So what's entering your life that you're not expecting in the next 3 to 6 months, according to your future self? So everyone, let's take a deep breath in together. And exhale out. Ah, good. And one more deep breath in. And exhale out. And let's start everybody's reading with a collective card pull for all of you. We have two feathers, blue and black and blue, and it comes from the bluebird and the crow. So the bluebird says, you are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. What a great way to start off this reading of what's coming the next 3 to 6 months is blessings of happiness and peace. And with the crow, universal laws and truths are now being revealed. Use this energy to create your reality. So I'm hearing there's some learning that's going to be happening, like some really big life lessons for you all in the next 3 to 6 months. And truths are being revealed. Some of them will be pleasant, but I'm also getting that some of them will be a bit unpleasant, just at first, until you can adjust and adapt to it. So let's get started with your readings. We're going to begin with group number 1. So welcome group number 1 to your reading today to find out what is entering your life that you're not expecting. Okay, so let's see what your future self has to say. First out, you have the kite card with vacation. And let's get the other tea leaf card here. You have the mule, which someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. That's interesting. And we also have your magical spell card with peace. Oh my gosh. We were just talking about that with this bluebird card, happiness and peace. So, Brigade, goddess in your sacred name, a light within me, peace's flame. Ooh, I'm sensing some type of resolution is coming through here. Probably involving someone who's been really stubborn and kind of like resistant to change, or maybe I'm hearing for some of you like they didn't want to sell something, like you were hoping to sell a house or a personal belonging or whatever, and someone was not willing to sell or buy. Like there's maybe been some back and forth, and I'm feeling like it's like a big purchase, like maybe even a house or like a business, something like that, for some of you. And then for others of you, I'm getting the sense that maybe this is more even like an interpersonal relationship where some key element in your relationship you both disagreed on, and the other person just wasn't even willing to meet you halfway, wasn't even willing to compromise because, you know, they just didn't want to give up whatever they were doing and change in any way. So that's kind of what I'm getting from the get-go. And with this vacation, you know, people go on to a vacation to like rest, relax, recharge, get away from it all. And so that's why I'm feeling like it's moving away from this very disharmonious energy or stagnant energy. Like I feel moving forward in a good way, okay? Now, interestingly enough, I was called to get one card from several tarot decks. So why don't we start with the very first tarot deck I ever bought way back when I was in high school and getting ready to do my high school capstone presentation as a senior on tarot cards. I know, interesting topic to present back, you know, like 20 years ago now. Wowzers. Okay, so that card is the sun. Yes! What a beautiful card to get. The sun to kick off your reading in the tarot aspect of it anyway. With 3 of Cups, look at that. The 8 of Coins. We also have the Strength card. The 4 of Wands. and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is with the Wheel of Fortune, um, it's all about what I'm hearing is divine timing. Okay, that having the energy and the what is it, resilience even and the dedication and commitment to your path requires like all the right pieces to be in place for you to get to it. Now with the Four of Wands here, I'm seeing like this portal, okay? So I'm hearing that there's this combination of all these factors that come together to create this portal for you to walk through. So what could that look like? Okay, so for example, let's say you were trying to sell something, you were trying to make this major sale, or you were trying to buy something, and it seems like the buyer seller dynamic was not in sync. It was like, oh, the offer's too low, or oh, this person doesn't have the money right now, or else they would pay the amount that I want, right? So there's this element of circumstance and also timing, okay? With the Wheel of Fortune, I'm sensing this timing. But with this strength, I'm feeling like how important this is to you. You know its true value and its true worth, and you weren't settling for less. And so you had to hang in there rather than just kind of give up and be like, okay, fine, like here, just take it already. Okay, fine, I give up, have it your way. If it was like some kind of disagreement, even, just like an interpersonal relationship, you had to stick with your guns and like not back down in this instance, okay? And this was not one of those cases in your life where you were meant to concede, okay? Wheel of Fortune here. It wasn't your destiny to give in to this. What I'm also hearing from your future self is kind of like, with lessons in life, we keep repeating the same lessons until we finally learn. And then you don't repeat those same mistakes or those lessons again. And then you can move on to other lessons, right? Until you learn those. Life is just full of learning, okay? And observations and evolution. And so what I'm seeing here is that it's all about the right timing, okay? And I know you probably hear that a lot in life, like divine timing and right timing. And one thing that I was reminded of as I was studying like my human design, I'm a manifester, or not, excuse me, not a manifester, I'm a generator. Whoa, I don't know why I said that. Maybe some of you are manifestors, but I'm a manifester. And part of that is understanding that some things in life don't happen when you want them to happen. Sometimes, and actually I shouldn't even say sometimes, it's like most of the time, you have to wait for the right circumstances. Now, why is that? Because you're not the only factor when it comes to events happening, okay? There's other people involved and they have to be in the right frequency and alignment and circumstance themselves for this shared experience to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like with future spouse. Like you have to be at an energetic, vibrational, emotional maturity state that matches your future spouse in order to come together. Okay, so in order to meet up, to match, right? Like match.com, right? You have to be a good match for each other on an energetic level. And so that's what divine timing is about, all right? Because especially when it involves other people and other circumstances, which most of the time it actually does, everyone has to be on the same page energetically for things to happen. All right. And so that's what divine timing is about. So in the next 3 to 6 months, this portal will be opening. Okay. So your future self is reminding you to stick to your belief, stick to your values here. And don't give in. Have a little bit of patience because it will be worth it. Okay. You're going to be able to go on a vacation. So when it comes to the matter of finances, like I'm hearing that this is not the time to like settle, okay? And also with your interpersonal relation, it's not about settle, it's not about giving up, okay? That's not the energy here. And 3 to 6 months, for some people that can feel like a really long time, but when you think about it in the course of your lifetime, it's kind of like a blink in the eye. A blink in the eye. Oh my God, a blink of the eye. Like, do you remember exactly what was happening over a 3-month period in like 2016? right? Or 2001. No, not really. You kind of know your life through big events and big shifts and changes. So this 3 to 6 month period is going to be what you're going to take away from that is just remembering this big event like the sale of a house or sort of this big agreement with important and close people in your life on how to move forward and what's going to define your relationship. Oh my gosh. So I just even heard that maybe for some of you, it could be that you are in a relationship and you want to, take it to the next level and maybe like move in with them or like get engaged or get married or have a child, whatever. And the other person just kind of isn't in that frequency at right away. It's going to take them like 3 to 6 months to feel that they're ready to take that next step with you. Whoa! Oh my God, that's so wild. Okay, I really, really love that. For others of you, I'm being called to this 3 of Cups. So what does this have to do with the whole conversation? So what I'm seeing here is, in some ways, there's gonna be sort of like this, not even like a truce, it's really just like an agreement between friends. I'm sensing here that in the next 3 to 6 months, one of you and your close friend are gonna have a disagreement in something, and it's gonna take that long for this to kind of settle down, to come to an understanding with each other. I'm hearing for some of you, what I'm actually getting, which is interesting, is like you're not really supportive of a decision that your friend is making, or vice versa. Okay, just take it kind of how it fits. So they might not be supportive of a decision you're making, whether that comes to like life path, career, who you're choosing to date, that type of thing, right? And they're not really going to be able to understand and see your perspective until it's been like 3 to 6 months. So they're gonna be like slow to accept it, slow to understand it. Like maybe some of you are getting back with an ex and your best friend is like, no, don't do that. Like it was a mistake. I don't want you to get hurt again, right? Like that's a classic sort of example where people are just trying to protect you from getting hurt again because they think that you're making a mistake. By letting someone else back in your life or going back to the same situation. And it's going to take them some time to see that this decision really was up to you, okay? And it's going to take them some time to find a way to accept, respect, and continue to love you and support you under these new circumstances, all right? And so that's what I'm really seeing here. And with this tea party that is going on here, it's kind of like this is an opportunity for you both to come to the table and like break bread is what they say, like call a peace, create a treaty, right? Like an understanding. And for many of you, maybe it will be something like meeting up for coffee after not speaking with each other for a while and taking a break to cool down, calm down. Meeting up for a coffee to reunite, okay? That reminds me so much of a situation like with one of my friends where I didn't really like the person that they were dating, but they really cared for that person. And it took me some time and time away, like I didn't really talk to them for months, but it took me some time to just humble myself and be like, I am not the boss of their life. Like who am I to tell them how to live their life? That's not my place at all. They weren't asking me for any advice, and yet I felt I needed to give it, right? And I don't know everything. I don't know what's going to happen with their relationship or how it's going to change and evolve. And I don't know that other person well enough to know if they can change or evolve. Like I can't really see the future with 100% accuracy. It's all just about possibilities, right? And which ones I'm willing to support and put time and energy into. And so I feel like this is part of that process for you as well, to in a way kind of acknowledge that you don't have control over everything and you can't predict everything, you know? And so it's going to take some time for people to adjust. What I'm seeing here, real quickly, for the Eight of Coins, this actually is not sending too many strong energies, but what I'm seeing here within the next 3 to 6 months, you are going to be undergoing some type of training, maybe taking some type of online class or something, and it's not going to take that long. It's going to take a matter of weeks to complete the course, and then a little bit more time as well to master everything you've learned, because you know, when you're in the classroom, it's all about just absorbing the information and not often as much application and using the information in what you're doing. And so there's going to be like this learning period, study period, and then like practicing and playing around with it, trying new things, getting the hang of it, okay, and even becoming experts at it. All right, so that process will be happening in 3 to 6 months. So that's very important for some of you that are in school, right? So you may be graduating in the next 3 to 6 months, or others of you that are trying to learn something new, you'll probably be taking a class on how to do that. That is going to be, it's going to take a few weeks to complete, but you'll come out feeling or being quite amazing. Now, with this sun card here, what I'm seeing is that this is honestly a very, very beautiful confirmation that everything is gonna work out beautifully, okay? So like we were saying throughout this whole conversation, there's going to be an element of stubbornness. Whatever the case may be, whatever resonated most with you in this reading, there's going to be an element of stubbornness, meaning you or someone else isn't going to be quick to change their opinions on something. So it's going to take some time, all right? That's what this element here, hence, I guess, the 3 to 6 month conversation. But with the sun, this is optimistic energy. The sun is about self, is about you. So I see you shining brighter, you shining brighter, you doing better, everything working out brilliantly, like light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing going on here for you. So, and you know, vacation. So you'll have a period of rest, relaxation once all this stuff is over, okay, until the next adventure comes along. So I really hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, my Transform Rian family. Thank you again so much for all the likes, the comments. Please let me know in the comments down below if you chose this pile. Say you're pile 1 and I received this reading. And if you have any ideas of what topics you want me to explore, I'm all ears. So please share with me. And thanks again for allowing the ads to run. I'm also, for the time being, I am offering like personalized readings. I've had some requests for readings, and so I figured I'll just open it up and see who I can help in that way. So you can see the description box below if you're interested in getting in contact with me to request a reading, and we'll chat, okay? So in any case, remember that it's never too late for your happily ever after, and I will see you all again soon. Hey there, Group 2. Welcome to your reading to find out what is entering your life that you're not expecting, according to your future self. And you have this card here to kick off your reading, Haystack. Karma. You will reap what you have sown. So I have to say and be completely honest with all of you that some of you've done some really good things recently, and you're going to receive some beautiful blessings as a result. But what I'm also hearing, actually, with the majority of you, is there have been some decisions that you have made that maybe you thought were good in the short term, but in the long term, there is like a reckoning that's coming, okay? Where there will be consequences for some of your actions, all right? And that's what I was seeing here, especially with this Crow card that came out in the beginning. You know, universal laws and truths are now being revealed. And what I'm seeing for you is this like energy of reciprocity, okay? Oh my God, it made me think of that Lauryn Hill song, X Factor. Tell me who I have to be. to get some reciprocity. See, no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. Right? So I'm just hearing that word reciprocity. And so I'm hearing that it's really come time to balance the energies, maybe pay back some things that you owe to other people. For some of you, I'm also hearing too that someone from your past is going to be coming back into your life. Okay, so this could be an ex, this could be someone from like high school, your previous job, like an old friend, something like that. Okay, I feel like something is coming back because there's this karma is about energy coming back to you. Okay, and let's see what the tarot cards have to say and your magical spell card as well. And we'll get maybe a little bit more info on that, okay? So you have also Apple, temptation will test you. So, okay, I'm feeling now a little bit more clearly. This is that universal law thing coming through. So something from your past, maybe like a repeating behavioral pattern, or again, like an ex who maybe some mistakes were made, some things that were said that you regret, some things that you did that you regret, whatever, will come back to light. And what I'm hearing is that temptation will test you. So this is, in some ways, maybe some of you will try to avoid the situation because it's too uncomfortable, it's too painful, it's too embarrassing, it's too upsetting, whatever the case may be. And you're going to choose to ignore it or try to walk away from it because you'll be tempted not to get yourself involved with it. But the thing is, it's going to keep coming back until you resolve it. That's what I'm hearing here is there's like this energetic tie that's happening here, and it's sort of leaking energy out. And things are going to keep happening over and over and over again until you stop it, until you cut the cord, until you plug up what the little hole that's draining energy, whatever it is, okay? And so kind of like a small example here is there, you know, in medicine, I sometimes saw patients over and over and over and over again, especially when I was doing primary care and was like, you know, a family medicine provider. And sometimes, and this is no judgment, okay? I want you to know that what I'm saying is not like me being judgy or critical of you because I've had the same experiences myself, all right? And so, like, I had patients who would have to take certain medicines every single day, right? And sometimes when you are starting a new medication or you got diagnosed with something, it's like hard to remember. You know what I'm saying? And so I would get some patients who maybe would forget to take their blood pressure medicine, we'll just say, okay? So they get prescribed a blood pressure medicine because their blood pressure is high, and then they forget to take it, and they come and see me and tell me that they've been experiencing like headaches, for example. And then I take their blood pressure and it's like, okay, well, it looks okay today, but do you remember to take your blood pressure medicine every day? And if they tell me no, then it's like, well, maybe that could be why you're getting a headache. I mean, not a super common thing because high blood pressure isn't always symptomatic that way, but in some cases, yes. And so, you know, until they remember to take their blood pressure medicine every day, it's kind of like they're running the risk of experiencing a headache. And over time, you know, if you keep having elevated blood pressure, then you're at risk for like heart disease, heart attacks, strokes, that kind of thing, right? And so the consequences of not addressing a certain issue can escalate and can snowball. So don't be tempted to ignore it or kind of put it under the rug. It's important that you face this so that you can move on and make whatever necessary changes or adjustments are required so that this doesn't escalate or get bigger, all right? So I feel like this is sort of almost like a warning from your future self that in the next 3 to 6 months, you're really going to have to commit to taking a different course of action or developing habits and behaviors that will benefit you in the long run, okay? So, your magical spell card says psychic protection. Around me now, a shield of gold, protecting me strong and bold. So I'm definitely feeling this support from your future self that this is really about protecting you from further harm, okay, and bigger consequences. You know, I'm also getting reminded too. For some of you, like when I was younger, of course, it's natural for you to want to go out and have drinks with your friends. Like for me, it was a lot of clubbing and dancing, and which I feel actually isn't as big a thing now for this, you know, young adult generation. And there came a time where I started getting really bad headaches from drinking, and it's because I would get dehydrated. I would feel really, really awful, like I'd have muscle aches, body aches, and it's like, okay, you start to realize, like, wow, my metabolism is not as fast as it used to be, and I'm not really handling this alcohol very well, and I need to cut back or just stop entirely, you know. And I kind of got to that point in my life now where, you know, like every now and then, like maybe once every 2 or 3 months, I'd have a drink with a friend, and it's like literally like just one. Where maybe I'd have like a Moscow Mule or or sangria, right? It's like nothing even crazy, and so I've learned now that that is not something that is A, important to me, or B, something that my body really enjoys, right? So I've really just stopped drinking alcohol for the most part. And so there's something like that in your life too that needs to be shifted and changed, and it will maybe take 3 to 6 months to fully master it and kind of get into this new habit. I feel like we're going to have a conversation about relationships here in a moment. So let's just reveal your tarot cards. And I had a very interesting instruction to get one card from several tarot decks. And we'll start with this deck, the Dragon Tarot, which is my very first deck that I ever got. And I got this deck to prepare my high school senior graduation presentation. So, like, blast from the past here. So we have the Moon card. I'm hearing the word illusions coming through. So there are some illusions that you had about your life that are going to be like dissolved, and reality is going to be revealed to you. We have the Nine of Pentacles, and the word I'm getting here is stability. We have the Emperor card. So the Emperor loves order, loves following rules. Also the Queen of Cups. Okay. Kind of that intuitive energy again coming through. And Daughter of Wands. Okay, so I'm hearing too with the Queen of Cups that you need to really start understanding and listening to how you're feeling and communicating and acting on it accordingly. So many times in cultures around the world, especially like in America, that's where I was born and raised, so a lot of my experience comes from an American upbringing, is we're taught to like put our feelings aside, right? Like, don't get so emotional. Don't be so sensitive to this. Like, think with your head. Like, think clearly. Your emotions will cloud your judgment. How many of you have ever heard that before? Let me know in the comments down below, right? I feel like that is a big point to kind of bookmark in your mind, that you've maybe in your life been programmed not to trust your emotions and not to follow through with them. And really, in this phase, in this 3 to 6 months, it's about honoring your emotions, allowing yourself to feel these things, and allowing yourself to help them guide you as to what needs to be done. Okay, like if you're feeling hurt or pain, it's like, why are you feeling hurt? Why are you feeling pain on an emotional level? Okay. And what contributes to this? And are there ways in which you can prevent this from happening again in the future? Or perhaps, whatchamacallit, make it less common, right? So for example, now I'm hearing, okay, I know we need to still reveal one more card here, my goodness. But before we do that, what I'm hearing is, like for me, I used to date the same type of guys. And then it didn't take long for me to start feeling like unappreciated, used, and like kind of feel like I wasn't good enough for something more significant or for like commitment from somebody. And then I realized, at first I was just like dating all these guys and I thought like I'm just getting like bad luck. But when I started to kind of look at what was happening here, it was because I was picking the same type of guys, like emotionally unavailable guys who just wanted to meet up like at random times when they wanted to hook up. Or maybe experience something new or de-stress somehow, right? And seeing me was the way they did that. And so I realized I had to take a different approach and start saying no to those kinds of guys and actively choose different types of guys. And so that's what I'm kind of hearing for some of you as well, that all of our choices have a consequence, like we were talking about with the karma, okay? And consequence is often viewed as like a bad thing, but consequence in as of itself is like neutral, right? It just means like what happens next after you make a choice. And so it's really examining some of the consequences you've experienced in your life, and for the good consequences, what can you do or what have you done before that can encourage more good things to happen in your life, okay? And what things have you chosen or done before that led to kind of bad outcomes? And how can you adjust your behavior so that you don't have those bad outcomes, okay? So this kind of thing that you weren't expecting is sort of this like light switch, okay? Like for the longest time, you might have been wondering like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Or not being able to solve a certain problem no matter how you looked at it. And in the next 3 to 6 months here, that light switch is going to turn on and you're just going to start to think and act and be able to do things that are better for you in the long run. But it's not going to be without some temptations. It's about going back to old habits. It's not going to be without some trial and error and some like hiccups along the way, all right? So that's why I'm getting that sort of like it's not going to be super comfortable of an experience, but it's going to really help you in the long run. Okay, let's finally get to this. 7 of Cups here. Oh, and look, there's actually a dragon in this card as well. And we have the dragon card there. I'm really drawn to this like heart here with the flowers together. So I'm really feeling that this is the next 3 to 6 months, there's gonna be a big shift and a growth within you to have more love in your life, okay? And what I'm sensing is that this is like love for yourself, respect for yourself, a bigger self-esteem. And when you have these components within you, it's going to radiate out of you, and the people that you attract, whether it's co-workers, friends, lovers, they're going to also start to have more respect for you, more love for you, and value you even more. So this change is starting within you, all right? And your future self is like here sending this message to you right now to protect you and help give you the best chance of making it through this process with the least amount of pain. Now, what I'm seeing also here with this 9 of Pentacles, the word that I was hearing earlier that I was telling you all was the word stability, okay? So I'm hearing that there is sort of this new reality that you are creating, like what we talked about here with this crow. Use this energy to create your reality. So now as you're starting to learn this element of yourself, you can create the structures and sort of the behaviors and like the protocols, if you will, to have something better, okay, in your life than what you've been given so far. And it'll reach this new level of comfort, new level of stability and security within yourself, okay? And will lessen, what I'm hearing is also lessen a lot of the fears that you may have, okay? And with this moon card, the other word that I'm hearing here is I shouldn't even say word. It's like a phrase is like the lies that you tell yourself are gonna be exposed, okay? And some of the lies might be about how you're not good enough, how you're not smart enough, how you're not pretty or handsome enough for something, okay? Those are like some lies that you may be telling yourself right now that are keeping you stuck in this like situation that's not your ideal, that's not one of your dreams here, okay? And you're going to be able to see that you can have your dreams. You can have multiple dreams and you can have them come true. You just have to change your attitude, change your mindset. And the best way is to change your energetic and vibrational frequency. So if you know law of attraction stuff, like you get it, okay? Oh wow, that's like taking me back to the days when I was like giving law of attraction master classes online to get people to join this like 7-week class, which was really good. It was a great class, actually. I went through it myself. So yeah. And so I feel like here, this is an opportunity for you to turn over a new leaf, okay, in your life, as that saying goes. I'm seeing, oh my God, I'm seeing this lobster here, and with this like little pinchers, and you know, I'm hearing that phrase like pinch me. Am I dreaming? You know how people like pinch themselves to kind of wake up because they think something is too good to be true. And so I feel like this pinch is like asking you to like wake up. Wake up. It's time to start living the life that you're truly worthy of and stop settling for this nonsense around you. So yes, this reading is like your wake-up call or the path to waking up for you in the next 3 to 6 months here. And you will wake up and everything will change so tremendously for you moving forward. Wow, this is a really fun reading to do. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Thank you for hanging in there and watching the reading to the end. Thank you for the likes and the comments and the subscriptions and for watching the ads even, right? So thank you all for that. I really truly appreciate your support. I had some people requesting readings of me recently, and so I decided to kind of open up to see if any of you are interested in getting a personal reading from me. So you can send me an email, take a look at the description box below if that's something you'd like to receive from me, and I'll let you know what my availability is like. All right, so I hope to see you all again very soon. Have a wonderful day, and never forget that it's never too late for your happily ever after. See you all next time. Hey there, Group 3. Welcome to your reading to find out what is entering your life that you're not expecting. And this is some messages from your future self, and we're kind of pulling in messages and information about the next 3 to 6 months from when you view this reading, okay? So let's start out with your tea leaf cards. We have the wheel opening up your reading with indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. That's very interesting. I wonder what that's about. I feel like we're going to have to pull some more cards before I get some stronger messages. So next we also have Lily, spiritual love. Ooh, okay. So what I'm hearing for you already, now this is a lot clearer, is that in the next 3 to 6 months, it's gonna really feel like your life isn't going anywhere. And, you know, I get it. I felt that way recently where I'm like, what am I trying to do here? What's going on? I felt like I had no direction. And what I'm hearing from your future self is that we all have periods in our life where it feels that way. Like we're not going anywhere, we're not getting anywhere. We feel confused, we feel lost, and that can be very upsetting. But sometimes we need that because otherwise we're just going to be go and start acting like a robot. You know what I'm saying? We're just not thinking, we're just doing. And the next thing you know, you're going to be saying something like, oh, where has the time gone? What have I really accomplished with my life thus far? And you're going to look back and maybe even have some regrets about like things that you wish you had done instead. And have some regrets about like how you wish you would have done something sooner. Or pursued something that you never ended up pursuing, okay? So in this next 3 to 6 month time frame, what I'm hearing here is that you're going to be in this energy of reflecting back on your life so far and kind of seeing and understanding like how you want your life to take shape moving forward, okay? So this time period right now is not so much what I'm hearing for you is about productivity. That's not so much of what this time is about. This time is about like kind of doing what you need to do to survive, doing what you need to do to get through your day. But there's going to be this energy of connecting with your spirit, connecting with who you are. And it's not about making any decisions. It's just about exploring and just understanding, observing, researching like your goals and dreams and how maybe some of them aren't true for you anymore. And how maybe some of them need to kind of have another, like be in the spotlight in your life now. Like maybe some dreams you had forgotten or some things you wanted to do that you neglected or forgot about. And it's about like thinking about how to incorporate those things back into your life. Okay, so it's like I feel like this next 3 to 6 months is a deep reflection period. And maybe you weren't expecting it because maybe you were thinking like, okay, finally, like let me get my life moving, let me get things going. And for some of you, it's not really going to be as big a leap or a forward movement as that. Okay, it's making me think of like, if you know anything about your personal year numbers, then you might want to research that. Okay, like, well, let me just explain to you really briefly so that you can calculate it yourself. So the time I'm filming this video, it's the year 2023. So that's a universal year number 7. Okay, so 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. So the way you find your personal year number is you take your birth date and add it. Okay, so it's not, you don't add your year into that. So if your birth date or birthday, I shouldn't say date, birthday is like March 1st. Okay, so that's 3 plus 1, and then you add the 2023, which is a 7. So that would be 7 plus 3 is a 10, plus 1 is 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. So you are in a personal year number 2. So that might give you some insight on how to approach the next 3 to 6 months, okay? Like how your energy can best be used. Because for some of you, it might not be with making these huge leaps and bounds. And that's okay, all right? That's okay. Life is all about fast growth, slowing down, fast growth, slowing down. And it seems like you're in one of those phases right now of a little bit of slowing down, okay? And feel free to like rewind the video if you need to, because I know I explained how to calculate your personal number a bit fast. So, and then you just look up like personal year numerology on a search engine like Google, and then you can get some information about your personal year number and what that signifies. Okay, wow, didn't think I would be talking about numerology today. What else do we have here? Friendship. Bring to me friendship true, sharing laughter, understanding too. Ooh, so I'm seeing that sharing and understanding are going to be really big for you in the next 3 to 6 months. So I hear that your future self is encouraging a lot of conversations with your friends. Okay, like talking to your friends about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're going through, because oftentimes when we talk to other people about what we're experiencing, you will actually gain more clarity. All right? You will gain more clarity by talking about what's going on in your head and what you're feeling. So, you know, sometimes, and I think it's really important too that you pick like really good friends to talk to about this, not just like acquaintances or anything like that. Because as you're going through this process of maybe sharing, people are going to want to give you advice. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes other people's advice is not actually good advice for you. It's good advice for them. It's kind of like, this is what I would do. And that's great and all, but it's kind of like, but you're not me. Like we have a totally different life path. We've had totally different experiences. So it may actually not be useful to apply your advice, right? So you need a friend who, instead of trying to give you advice or tell you what to do, help you explore these ideas you're having a lot better, like asking you more questions. So like maybe you have a friend that you want to talk to and you're like, hey, I really want to start a YouTube channel on gaming where I like film myself playing this video game. And your friend is kind of like in that mindset where it's like, no, you need to get a job. Like that's not a job. That's not how you can support yourself, right? And so now that conversation, it's probably going to leave it feeling a little bit discouraged. And that's really not the point of this next 3 to 6 months. The point of this next 3 to 6 months is to explore and sort of like flesh out these ideas you're having. And so what would be better is if your friend would say something like, oh, wow, I never thought that would be something that you would do, but that's super cool. So like what game would you be playing and like what really kind of got you thinking about doing this, right? So almost like interviewing you to help you kind of explore your feelings and your ideas even further. That's the type of sharing and friendship conversation you should engage in. That's just my thoughts, of course. All right, so take it as you will if it resonates with you. Let's take a look at your tarot, okay? So I got an interesting instruction to pull one card from several tarot decks. So we have this nice eclectic group of cards here, starting with the Dragon Tarot, which was my very first deck that I ever bought way back when I was in high school, and I bought this deck to prepare myself to give this presentation for my high school senior project. So you have the 8 of Swords. Ooh. And notice this like little blindfold here, okay? So it's like not really knowing where you're going just yet. But don't worry, you are gonna get somewhere. It's just not the time to be taking forward movement just yet. Ooh, Ace of Cups. Nice. 5 of Swords. So we got some swords elements coming through here. So a lot of things going on in your mind. Like I'm seeing that wheel turning, right? They say the little hamster wheel is turning in the mind. So lots of things you're thinking about. What else we got here? Knight of Swords. Swords, swords, swords again. Ace of Wands. Ooh, okay, Ace of Wands right here with the Ace of Cups. Sweet. So these are new beginnings. And 2 of Wands. So here what I'm seeing, let's focus in first on the Ace of Cups and Ace of Wands. So this is indicating that there's like another shift beginning to happen in your life, okay? I'm hearing too that I have to make this distinction. So this is a minor arcana card. Let me know if you care to learn more about like minor versus major arcana, and because I've taught a couple of workshops on reading tarot and I've had tons of fun doing it. So let me know if that's something that interests you in the comments down below, and maybe I can put something together, okay? But in any case, with the Ace of Wands, this speaks to sort of like your day-to-day experiences, like routines, habits, things like that, versus the major arcana, which can signify like big life changes, okay? Like a new era in your life, okay? And so what I'm seeing here is that with the Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, you're gonna start looking at your day-to-day life in a different way, okay? And you're going to start to get a better understanding of what you're most passionate about, like what sets your soul on fire, what makes you feel alive, and also what makes you happy, what makes you feel joyful, what brings you maybe even peace or bliss kind of energy, right? Things that you love to do, that it's like you always have energy for it, okay? So I feel like there's some revelations coming here for you in the next 3 to 6 months. That's a great word, revelations. Ooh, almost sounds like biblical even. Now let's take a look at these sword elements first. So we have 8 of Swords, 5 of Swords, Knight of Swords. So here with the Knight of Swords, I'm sensing a little bit of restlessness coming from you, right? Which is why maybe you have this feeling of like you're rambling aimlessly. But it's mostly because of your mind, okay? Like you feel restless because your mind is saying, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? I should be doing this. I wish this could happen. I wish this would happen. And really, what is important for you to understand is like to help quiet the mind. So the mind is like where criticism really comes from, okay? Because the soul doesn't do that. The heart doesn't do that. The nature of the soul and the heart is just unconditional love, acceptance, support, compassion. So the mind is where judgment comes from. Ooh, oh my God, I feel like that was a huge aha moment for me. Like, wow, the wisdom coming through from me and your future self and like guides and spirits working together to give this reading to you is mind blowing. Haha, mind blowing. Anyways, with the Knight of Swords here, what you can do though, which is a strength of the mind, which is their area of expertise, is get information. Do your research. If there's something that you want to be doing instead, if there's something you want to be pursuing, if there's something you forgot about that you want to reconnect with, do your research on it, okay? That's like the blessing of the internet these days, is how we have all this information at our fingertips. Of course, you want to be a little bit discerning with where you get your information from, but do your best to get your information from a variety of sources, okay? And then slowly begin to form your own plan of action. But what I'm seeing is now 3 to 6 months is really just about information gathering, seeing what fits you and your unique approach, okay? Now with this Eight of Swords and with this Five of Swords, what I'm seeing here is this is not an outcome-based era of your life where it's like you're looking to see results. The results are not going to be very tangible. This is sort of like the researching, right? It's like think back, oh my gosh, think back to when you were in school and you had to like write a paper or give a presentation. Like first you had to research your topic, right? And so you probably spent several days, if not a few weeks, researching, and then you started writing things down. And as you wrote your things or prepared the presentation, you started to get other ideas and maybe had to like edit some things, your rough drafts and all that, and then you give the final product, right? You turn in your paper, you give your presentation, whatever. So it's this process. So the same thing is happening in your life right now. You're just in that research phase, and then within this 3 to 6 months, you'll start transitioning and start, doing the edits, modifying things as you need to so that it fits you. And matches up with where you want to go, and then becomes this implementation, giving the presentation, reaping the rewards, getting your grade on the topic, whatever, right? So that's what I'm seeing here with the Eight of Swords and the Five of Swords, is you're just not going to know where this is going, okay, right away. And it's not your job, it's not your responsibility to know that at all. And with the Five of Swords, I'm hearing it's kind of this like pruning process, right? Where it's like you get all these ideas and then you leave some behind, you keep some others and you receive more ideas, and then you take some other ideas out and incorporate new ones, like that type of process, okay? As you start to get facts, it's sort of like oh my God, it almost makes me think too of like some type of competition where it's like you have 10 people, right? Like bachelor or bachelorette, and you're finding more about these 10 people, and then you decide who you want to keep, who you want to let go, right? And so it's like this process is happening in your life in the next 3 to 6 months, okay? And your friends are going to be able to help you kind of figure some things out. With the Two of Wands, it's about waiting to take action, all right? So right now, you're just kind of weighing your options. That's what I'm getting here with the Two of Wands. I'm hearing that there's quite a few options for you to go with. And so it's about weighing your two options until maybe you're left with just two, right? Maybe you start off with like 7, 8 options, and then you keep researching and reflecting and learning until you're brought down to 2 options on which one you're going to pursue, and like maybe which job or career path you're going to do, which hobby you're going to spend time doing, which, I don't know, training, exercise regimen or diet plan you're going to follow, like whatever the case may be for you. All right, so this is a beautiful time for you to learn. That's what I'm getting very strongly from your reading. It's a time to learn. It's a time to understand yourself better and what works for you overall, okay? What's in your best interests. So it's not about letting other people decide for you, it's about you deciding yourself. You can ask other people to help you reflect and explore, but they're not meant to be giving you advice. All right. Wow. Ooh, I love this reading. This is so cool. So let me know what you thought. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for the likes, the comments, and subscribing and letting the ad run. Like, just thank you so much for all of that. I also wanted to let you all know that I've had some people request readings from me. And so I decided to open it up. So if any of you have been thinking about getting a personal reading from me, you can reach out with the email down in the description box below, and I'll do my best to accommodate, okay? So I'll give you the info, like how much it costs and all that stuff when we get in touch. So other than that, I'm wishing you all the best on this journey. I feel like you're really going to learn some amazing things about yourself here. So take care, and remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after. Take care, loves.